Hello, I would like to speak about a very important topic related to language teaching. Before we start this discussion, I would like to speak about the syllabus, the definition of a syllabus. A syllabus is a guide, a program that can be designed by the teacher. Why I said can be designed? Simply because at the secondary school, for example, the teachers use textbooks, the program set by the Ministry of Education. But at university level, teachers are allowed to design their own programs. First of all, you have to make a difference between curriculum and the syllabus. A curriculum refers to the overall content taught in an educational system. A syllabus is set for a particular subject. In addition, the syllabus is confined to what you need in the classroom. I will give further explanations about this in the coming videos. So, this video is about one type of a syllabus because there are different types of syllabuses such as the notional functional syllabus, the structural syllabus. I've chosen the task-based syllabus in the planning of my syllabuses related to ESP. Now I think you are asking, what is ESP? English for specific purposes. For example, English in medicine, in aviation, in computer sciences, tourism, and the list is very long. So I opt for the task-based syllabus according to the needs of my students, since it is based on tasks to be performed in order to develop the abilities of the students, and of course it is communicative. So the title of this discussion, relying on the task-based syllabus, the case of computer sciences, a lecture in didactics. Of course, I'm talking about master students, applied languages. Before we start this discussion, I would like to say a word about the introduction. In the introduction, I have spoken about syllabus, curriculum, and the difference that lies between them. And I said that teachers at secondary school are not allowed to design their syllabuses. It doesn't mean that they don't know, but they have already, programs set by the Ministry of Education. Personally, I know a lot of very good teachers of English at secondary school, and sometimes they delete, they modify their syllabus in question. So now I would like to speak about the task-based syllabus. Definition. The task-based syllabus is concerned with the tasks that can be performed by the students in the classroom and promote the communicative use of language. Moreover, it constitutes the specification of the learner's expectations. It is based on communicative competence. The implementation of tasks in the classroom. This syllabus does not refer to what the syllabus designer does, but the operations required for the learners. In addition, it relies on the learner's ability to induce rules and the innate linguistic knowledge. According to Prabhu, this syllabus aims to develop language competence through performing tasks. Two crucial questions: what to teach and how to teach. We should bear in mind that this type of a syllabus is of great significance in the sense that it takes into account the learner's needs and context. I would like to focus on the word task. A task is more than an activity in the words of Prabhu, 1987, Long and many other researchers. The classic definition of a task is a piece of work to be done. It is a duty, a function, according to dictionaries. We can say that it is an activity which you have to do, Collins Dictionary. But if you write quickly in Google search the definition of task in language teaching, you will find these definitions. It refers to doing something in the real world. I found this definition in Wikipedia. However, a task in a classroom activity with a specific objective, but I may say is more than an activity. It is not a simple exercise such as filling in the gaps, or complete the following exercise by correcting the verbs in brackets. I like this activity. I'm not saying that it's not good, because we learn much from this kind of exercises. So, a task can be performed in the classroom by the students. They can, for example, play roles. In the case of English and medicine, they can play the dentist and the patient, or they can interpret a table, a chart, a diagram, read the statistical numbers in English, in the case of English and economy, mathematics. So the main objective is to bring the real world into the classroom. When I heard this saying, oh, I remember the words of Widows in 1990, Aspects of Language Teaching. I like this book. I would like you to read it. It's beautiful, really. I repeat, to bring the real word in the classroom means to rely on authenticity, original genius. Well, in the coming videos, I will speak about authenticity. I will discuss the work of Widdowson, Van Leer, and many others. Therefore, the principles of the task-based syllabus, authenticity, learners' needs, this is the topic of the next discussion in this video. But the procedural approach is associated with the work of Prabhu in 1987. He organized in Bangalore a program named Procedural Syllabuses. According to Prabhu, the best way of teaching is to focus on meaning rather than the structures. Tasks are the things people will tell you to do if you ask them, and they are not the blind linguists. This is according to Long, 1985, page 89. Well, I would like you to read all these books, really. Now, let's have a discussion on the principles of the task-based syllabus. It is clearly shown in this diagram, but let's have a discussion. Learners' expectations focus on meaning, authenticity, tasks. Learners' expectations, needs, wants. What do we mean by needs? Expectations. And what we have to identify. Their needs. Learners' needs to see the reason why they are supposed to learn and for what reason. What the learner needs to do in order to be able to communicate in the target situation. For example, in ESP, the learner's needs are very important for the planning of the lessons. Meaning, based on meaning rather than form. The what and not the how. Errors are not corrected directly. Authenticity, to rely on the use of authentic text, tasks, and materials. In the words of Widows in 1990, to bring the real word into the classroom, which is an artificial setting. For example, the case of non-native speaking community. By authenticity, I mean the quality of being real or true according to the Cambridge Dictionary. It means genuineness. Task. I have defined this word in the previous discussion. It is more than an activity performed by the students in the classroom, such as role plays, interpretation of charts, problem solving. So this is the meaning of a task. Let's talk about the positives and negatives of the task-based syllabus. When I say positives and negatives, I'm talking about the advantages and disadvantages of the task-based syllabus. Well, the negatives, first of all, limitations of the role of the teacher, more student-centered. Grammar is neglected. The students are not interested in form and may not succeed in the production of sentences. The task may be beyond the student's level difficult in terms of difficulty. Positives. The students may learn several techniques of cooperation, motivate the students, working in groups to create real context, collaborative, to allow the students to make decisions, student-centered, without the help of the teacher. Let's start by the limitations of the role of the teacher. More student-centered. It places the student at the center of learning. He is responsible for learning. In this case, the teacher is just a facilitator. Limitations, restrictions, very difficult, without a teacher in the classroom. No, I mean the teacher in this case is just a facilitator, a guide, an observer. I would like you to read Hammer 2007 to understand more the role of the teacher. It is very interesting. Limitations of the teacher, just a trick, let's say, to help the students to make efforts and perform tasks. I think it is a good idea to promote the creative process of thinking in the classroom, according to Fry and Collins 1991. Grammar is neglected. The students are not interested in form and may not succeed in the production of sentences. I think that it is clear. The task may be beyond the student's level in terms of difficulty. Okay, specifically if the tasks are authentic. Now, the positives, the students may learn several techniques of cooperation. Cooperation, arrange students in groups and assign tasks. Motivate the students, working in groups to create real context, collaborative. Okay, so here to help. I think that number 3 and number 1 are the same a little bit. So to learn several techniques of cooperation. This time I'm talking about working in groups to create real context, collaborative. Finally, to allow the students to make decisions student-centered without the help of the teacher. Making decisions, it engages students to solve problems and it promotes critical thinking. This is the model in English for computer sciences. Task 1. Transfer the following data into a chart and ask your partner about the definitions. The computer. You got here application, disk drive, printer, monitor, keyboard, mouse, printer. So here, this is another task for the students to be performed in the classroom. Interpret the following graph. It's about lab management statistical summary retrieved from, the net. The main objective of the task-based syllabus is to stimulate language in use and create a suitable context for learning. Moreover, the students can achieve linguistic competence by performing tasks. The students can acquire communicative competence that we explained in the previous video through the negotiation of meaning. When given tasks, the teacher has to consider learning abilities to see what the students are able to do with the language. And here, the role of the teacher is crucial. We will discuss the role of the teacher in the coming videos. Moreover, the language program conducted by Prabhu 1987 was based on structures that can be learned when the student's attention was focused on meaning. For example, asking the students to notice language forms in context is very interesting and very motivating. Thank you for listening to this video.